Good morning, Jackednnerdy fans. Jeremy here with another review video. Today we are reviewing the new Jason Statham action flick, The Beekeeper. Before we jump into that review though, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, give this video a thumbs up. It greatly supports the channel and it doesn't cost you a thing. So the more thumbs up we get, the better off our channel will be. So hit that thumbs up for us. So with that out of the way, let's jump into it. I thought, what better way to start off the new year with just a good old-fashioned action flick. This isn't rocket surgery, it's not Shakespeare, it's just a good old-fashioned beat-em-up action movie. And who else do you want in one of these movies than Jason Statham? He's one of the great action stars of recent times. Ever since the Transporter days, I've loved watching his films. Some have been better than others, but when you just want some good old-fashioned action, you can't go wrong with Jason Statham. So I did not realize that this was a David Ayer film until I was actually in the cinemas and the opening credits started to roll. So I was very, very interested. That piqued my interest when I found out it was a David Ayer film, because I thought to myself, well, if David Ayer's directed it, then it's not going to be one of those B grade or even C grade action films. It should be pretty good. And you know what? Look, he didn't disappoint. This is a very good action movie. Obviously, all the action, the fight choreography, all of that is absolutely fantastic and top notch. I did not have a single problem with any of the action in this film. The casting is absolutely brilliant as well. As I mentioned, obviously we've got Jason Statham, but you've also got the great talents of Josh Hutcherson. You got Amber Sienna. You've got Amy Raver-Lampman. Sorry, I'm butchering her name. Amy Raver-Lampman. That's a mouthful. Then you got Jeremy Irons, who's absolutely fantastic. I love Jeremy Irons so much. Then a couple of new faces that I haven't seen before. Taylor James. Who else have we got in there? You got Arian Nick. Sorry, I'm butchering a few names here. You got Minnie Driver. You got David Witts. The list goes on and on and on. So they really had some fantastic talent in this film. Never once, was I sitting there, poking holes in the acting. I thought they all did a really, really good job with their casting and the acting. So basically, action was there, talent was there, story. I did say the story itself was fairly appealing. Like it's got lots of the typical action movie tropes. You've got some sort of retired person with a history of some sort of military or specialist training, what have you, who's retired and trying to live a life of peace. Something happens. We've all seen the trailer, so we kind of know what happens in this particular film. But it's the typical trope. Trying to live a life of peace. Something happens that brings them back into the fold, or back into the light, so to speak, and chaos ensues. Lots of people die. Lots of people get beaten up, and we all have a great old time. So it followed all of those usual typical kind of tropes, which is a tried and tested formula. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's just nice to see something different. I suppose in one sense, I suppose the thing that was different in this sense is it was linked in with governments and things like that. It was a program that's outside the rules of government, and blah blah blah. I mean, it's all been done before in one fashion or another. But you know what? I'm not mad at it. You know, as I said, it's a tried and tested formula. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was fantastic. I did find a few little plot holes or things that didn't make sense. You know, having... You know, like usually you don't see things like hired goons and mercenaries standing side by side with government agencies and government employees. You know, not to give anything major away, you know, many major plot points, but I suppose the biggest thing that kind of threw me out, and it only happened, it was just one small bit of the movie. You know, having the, you know, like I said, mercenaries standing side by side with law enforcement didn't sit well with me. Probably the only other thing is, you know, when you think of these covert kind of non-government NGO kind of covert programs and things like that, usually the rule of thumb is that you keep a low profile, and you keep you don't want to bring unnecessary attention to oneself. So the only other thing that kind of pulled me out for a moment was when you see another beekeeper, another person who's part of this program, pop up in the film. You know, they're very garish and outlandish, and you know, just really out there, you know, the kind of personality and, you know, appearance of someone that's just going to draw attention to themselves from every angle. You know, they're not going to just skate under the radar and be a forgotten person. They're just very garish, outlandish, out there, and people will take notice, and people would remember. So not the kind of person that you would expect to be part of this covert operation. So those are the two only kind of plot holes that kind of drew me out for a moment. Like I said, it's only just flashes though over the course of just over an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes. So really, like, I mean, between these two things, they may have only had a total of about 15 minutes worth of screen time. So like I said, it pulls you out of the film only just slightly, but it's not for a long time. You're straight back to the action and everything. So those are my only two gripes. You know, with this film. Other than that, look, I really deeply enjoyed myself. You know, I had a great time. The action was, I found myself laughing at multiple points just because of the garish bloodshed or action, whatever you want to call it. Because that's what I do in these sorts of films. When something happens and it's just so brutal or over the top, I just sit back and laugh. You know, so maybe you have the same reaction, I don't know, but I enjoyed myself. I loved seeing the action. I thought Jeremy Irons was fantastic. I would have liked to have seen more of him on screen, but for the time that he was on screen, he did a fantastic job. Of course, Jason Statham, you know, he's one of the GOATs in my opinion. Can't wait to see whatever he comes up with next. So, in my opinion, look, I'd give this a solid 7 out of 10. You know, I had a great time. It's not Shakespeare. You know, don't expect it to be. If you're just looking for a good old-fashioned beat 'em up, shoot 'em up, kill 'em up action film, this is definitely one for you. Get out there. You know, just have a good time. Have some popcorn. Have some soda. Whatever. You know, it's a good, fun action film. I truly think a lot of people will enjoy it just for the kill factor and everything. You know, it's nowhere near John Wick status. John Wick is the GOAT in terms of action franchises and action flicks. John Wick and Expendables, in my opinion. But so it doesn't come close to those sorts of films. However, it's still a great, fun action film. Anyway, look, that's all from me. Get out there, check out this film for yourself. It's got 6.8 on IMDB. It's got a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's not a terrible B grade or even D grade action film. You will enjoy yourself. Get out there and see it for yourself. Hit me up in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. And until next time, guys, stay jacked and stay nerdy.